Hello, good afternoon, or good day, wherever you are in the world. Good night. Thank you for joining me once again for another video for your weekly English Premier League betting tips and predictions. I hope you had a wonderful game week last week and you managed to bring in some big profits. Again, thank you for joining me. And for this week, like this year game week, we're going to start on Friday. It goes from Friday through to Sunday, and then the following game week is on Monday. So we have games behind games. Yeah. So we're just gonna get straight into it. And as I say, we're going to start Friday. This game that you're seeing here should deplete later today. Man City versus Leeds. I'll leave my predictions based for that game. So we're gonna go to Friday, and we're gonna start with West Ham United versus Brentford. West Ham lost the game earlier this week. So did Brentford. Brentford drew with Spurs after leading 2-0. Yeah. Anyways, let's jump straight into it. And for me, for this particular game here now, this game, to be honest, this game is anybody's game based on how both teams are playing. West Ham, they are underachieving based on the kind of talent that they have in the squad and all of that. But Brentford, I'm expecting them to fight, and they should push through. Yeah. So I'm going to say here, I'm going to take Brentford to win this one against West Ham. Brentford to win. And in terms of both teams scoring, I'm going to say yes, both teams score. In terms of combination bet or double chance, you could go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm saying here, Brentford to win this one, 3-1. Otherwise, I think it's going to be 2-1. Yeah. In terms of anytime goal scorers, my anytime goal scorer would be, as I said, West Ham. You have Antonio. He played the last game. He could always come and score. Benarama depends. Gerard Bowen as well, who could come and score as well. Lanzini. Yeah, Tamas Soucek always has a goal in him. So those guys, they could come forward and score for you. For Brentford, you have Ivan Toney. You have Wissa, who is the super sub. You have Mbeumo. Yeah, he's due a goal too. And you have the Silva, who is also super sub. Yeah. And let's see. Yeah, but for me, for this particular game, I'm going to take my anytime goal scorer to be Ivan Toney. Sorry about that, gentle folks. Ivan Toney. Yes. Let's recap my predictions for the West Ham versus Brentford game. And for this particular game, I'm going to say here, I'm taking Brentford to win this one. And in terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying yes, both teams should score. In terms of a double chance or a combination bet, I'll go with either team to win and both to score. And in terms of my correct scoreline, I'm saying Brentford to win this one 3-1 or 2-1, but I'm going to go with 3-1. And my anytime goal scorer to be Ivan Toney. Alright, so let's move on to the next game. And our next game will be Liverpool versus Leicester City. And for Liverpool versus Leicester City now, here I'm expecting Liverpool to win. And in terms of both teams scoring, I'm going to say yes, I think both teams should score here. In terms of a combination bet, you go with either to win and both to score, like we did just now with West Ham and Brentford. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm saying 3-1 in favor of Liverpool. And also we also have the handicap system, so if you're not interested in doing correct scores or you want to bet the odds in terms of Liverpool winning, you can always go ahead. And I'll take Liverpool to win this one by 2 goals. Yeah, so that means that they have to win by 2 clear goals here in order for us to win this bet here on the handicap system. So we're just going to jump over to our anytime goal scorer. And anytime goal scorer, you have Darwin Núñez as usual for Liverpool. You have Mohamed Salah. You have Harvey Elliott. You have I'm not sure Chamberlain will play this game, but Chamberlain is also on the list. Yeah, you have Thiago Alcantara. Doesn't score very often, but those are guys who could score at any point for you in this game. In terms of Leicester City, I'll go with James Vardy. We'll go with Patson Daka also, and Kelechi Iheanacho, who score for you as well. Tielemans as well, Yuri Tielemans, and Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, he could score for you as well as Timothy Castagne. But for me, my anytime goal scorer in this game, I'm going to go with Jamie Vardy to be my anytime goal scorer. I'm expecting him to get the start this game though. Well, he might not, but I would love if he gets the start. Yeah. To recap my predictions for Liverpool versus Leicester City, I'm taking Liverpool to win this one. In terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying yes, both teams should score. And in terms of a combination / double chance bet, I go with either team to win and both to score. In terms of a predicted scoreline, I'm saying 3-1 in favor of Liverpool. And in terms of the handicap system, if you want to go that route, I'll go and run there and take Liverpool to win this one by 2 clear goals, yeah? And in terms of my anytime goal scorer, I'm going to say here, Jamie Vardy should be my anytime goal scorer in this game, alright? Let's move on over to Saturday now. On Saturday, we're going to start with Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Manchester United, the early game. And for this game, Wolverhampton now with a new coach, they won the last game. They won at Everton. Everton, one of the team with the best defensive records in the league. For this season, they managed to they won at Everton in the dying moments, won 2-1. And so for this game against Manchester United, I'm going to say Manchester United to win this game. Both teams not to score. In terms of combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm going to say here Manchester United win this one 2-0. In terms of my anytime goal scorer now, I'll go ahead and I'm going to run through here. For Wolverhampton side of the football, you have Diego Costa, who started the game yesterday. And he started the game. You have Chan as well, who could score. Jimenez, it depends on the amount of time he gets, he can score as well. Prudence is always a good provider. Ruben Neves, you have to look out for him, and it depends on how much time he gets, then he could score as well. Adama Traore does not score much, but he's usually a provider. Yeah, in terms of Manchester United, you will have Anthony Martial, you have Rashford, you have Anthony, you have Bruno. I think those are the guys who are the prime guys who could score for Manchester United in this game. But for me, I'm gonna go, since I have Manchester United here winning this game, I'm gonna go with Anthony Martial to score for me. So Anthony Martial would be my anytime goal scorer. Outside of Anthony Martial being my anytime goal scorer, I would have gone with Marcus Rashford. Yeah. So I'm getting $2.37 for that. So that's really lovely. Alright, and recapping predictions for Manchester United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. I'm expecting Manchester United to win. In terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying no, both teams won't score. Predicted, no, not predicted, but a combination bet here. Wanderers or Manchester United to win and both teams not to score. We're getting $2.30 for that. Yes, so I'd put some money on that. And in terms of predicted scoreline, I'm saying Manchester United to win this one 2-0. Otherwise, it might be 1-0, but I'm taking 2-0 for Manchester United. In terms of my anytime goal scorer, I'm going to say here Anthony Martial to be my anytime goal scorer, and you're getting $2.37 at the moment for that. Yeah, so we're going to move right along into the next game, and the next game will be Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace. And for Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace, you know, I'm expecting AFC Bournemouth to take care of business here, AFC Bournemouth to win, both teams to score. In terms of combination bet, I'll go with the same thing, either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm saying here 3-1 for Bournemouth. And in terms of handicap system, if you want to go that route, I'll go ahead and I'll take Bournemouth to win this game by a goal. Alright, in terms of my anytime goal score, you have the usual suspects. For Bournemouth, you have Solanke, you have even more, he's starting up front now. You have Jadon Anthony, who could come on and score as well. As well as Dembele, he does not start, but he could come on and score for Lerma, could also score for you as well. In terms of Crystal Palace, you have Wilfried Zaha, you have Eduardo, you have Mateta, yes, you have Eze, you have Jordan Ayew, Olise, the Schlupp, all of those guys. Any of those guys can score for you at any point in this game. And for me, I'm going to go with Dominic Solanke to be my anytime goal scorer in this game. Dominic Solanke at $3.60 to be my anytime goal scorer. So recapping predictions for Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace, I'm expecting Bournemouth to win here. And in terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying yes, both should score. In terms of a combination bet, I go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1 in favor of Bournemouth. And in terms of the handicap system, I'll go ahead and I'll take Bournemouth to win this one by a goal. Yeah, and in terms of my anytime goal scorer, I'm saying here that Dominic Solanke should score at any point in this game, I do believe, right? So those are my predictions for Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace, and now we're going to move on to Fulham versus Southampton. And for this game now, I'm expecting Fulham to take care of business, Fulham to win. Both teams not to score. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm saying here 2-0 in favor of Fulham. In terms of my anytime goal scorer, I'd go ahead and I'm going to run through the list here. For Fulham, you have Mitrovic, he could score, yeah. And you also have William, depending on the amount of time he gets to score as well. Bobby Reed, Andreas Pereira could score as well for us here at Fulham. And also Daniel James, he's been off, but it depends on the amount of time he gets, he could score as well. In terms of Southampton, you have Shea Adams, you have Mara, and you also have James Ward-Prowse, and you have Alicia as well. And Prowd is more of a provider, but for me, my anytime goal scorer for this game, I'm going to go with Alexander Mitrovic. Yes, to be my anytime goal scorer here. So recapping predictions for Fulham versus Southampton, I'm expecting Fulham to win this game, and in terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying no, both teams shouldn't score in this game. And in terms of a combination bet, I'm going to say either team to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm seeing Fulham winning this one 2-0. My anytime goal scorer in this game, I'm going to take Alexander Mitrovic. Alright, so those are my predictions of Fulham versus Southampton, and now we're going to move on over to Manchester City versus Everton United. Now this should be another interesting matchup, I do believe. And so it should be tight. I'm going to take this one to be a draw. Yeah, I'm going to think this one is going to be a draw. Both teams won't score. And in terms of a combination bet, I would say either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying 0-0 here. And in terms of my anytime goal scorer, if I'm going to take an anytime goal scorer in this game, I would go with you have the usual suspect. You have Haaland, you have Foden, you have De Bruyne, Gundogan, and Bernardo Silva as well. Yeah. For Everton, you have Mopé, you have Gordon, you have McNeil, and you have Gray. But for me, for this game, I don't expect either team to score though. Well, you might be saying I'm crazy. Manchester City playing and don't score, that's impossible. And then, but my anytime goal scorer for this game, I'm going to go with Bernardo Silva. Yeah, I take Bernardo Silva to be my anytime goal scorer. So recapping predictions for Manchester City versus Everton, I'm expecting this one to end in a draw. In terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying no, both teams won't score. In terms of a combination bet, I would say either to win and not to score. Predicted scoreline 0-0. Yes, 0-0. Yeah. In terms of anytime goal scorer, I'd say Bernardo Silva. Alright. So those are my predictions for City versus Everton, and now we're going to move on over to Newcastle United versus Leeds United. Alright, and so for this game now, I think it should be an interesting matchup. I'm expecting Newcastle to win here. Both teams to score, I'm going to say yes. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline for me here, I'm saying Leeds win this one 3-1. If you want to go on the handicap system, I'll go ahead on the handicap system. I'll take Leeds to win this one by a goal. Alright, Leeds to win by a goal, and that's $2.15. That's really lovely. Yeah. In terms of my anytime goal scorer, Callum Wilson did not play the last game. He wasn't even on the bench, I think. But if he's playing, Callum Wilson should be considered to be an anytime goal scorer, as well as Miguel Almiral and Bruno Guimaraes and Alan St. Maximum. I think he got a few minutes in the last game. Chris Wood as well, you have to consider him if he's playing as well to be anytime goal scorers. Yeah. And Willock as well, he usually has a goal in him. You can consider Joe Willock as well be an anytime goal scorer, and Joe Willock is getting $4.75 at the moment to be anytime goal scorer. Rodrigo, I'm not sure if he will be playing in that game. He was injured out. Let's see how things goes for him, but if he plays, you have to consider him. Yeah. Bramford as well, if he plays, you consider him somewhat. Yeah. And you have Janelt, who could score for you as well as Jack Harrison and Brennan Johnson. Yeah, all of those guys could come on and score a goal for you. But for me, my anytime goal scorer is going to come from Newcastle, and I'm going to take my anytime goal scorer to be Miguel Almiron. He's in a good run of form, and I expect it to continue. Yeah. So recapping predictions for Newcastle United versus Leeds United, I'm expecting Newcastle United to win this game. I'm expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1 in favor of Newcastle United for me. And in terms of the handicap system, if you don't want to go outright bet there, then you can always go in the handicap system and take Newcastle United to win this one by a goal, and that's $2.15 if they do so, right? And in terms of my anytime goal score, I'm going to go with Miguel Almiron, and that's $2.25 if he scores at any time in any point in this game, right? So those are my predictions for Newcastle versus Leeds. And now we're going to move on over to Brighton versus Arsenal. There should be an interesting matchup. These are games that Arsenal have to ensure that they win if they want to win the Premiership this season. They can't afford to drop points in these games, yeah? And so therefore, my predictions for Brighton versus Arsenal, I'm expecting this one to be a close battle right through to the end. This one is going to be a tough one, I do believe. I'm going to say both teams to score here. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I think it's going to be close. It's going to be close. It's going to be close, and it could end in a draw. But it's going to be close though. But I'm going to give Arsenal the edge here. An odd goal in 3. Arsenal the edge. And in terms of anytime goal scorers, we ran through the list. For Brighton, you have Trossard, you have Welbeck if he plays, and also you have, well, Lallana scored in the last game, doesn't score very often, but those are very limited options for Brighton, I do believe. In terms of Arsenal, you have Eddie Nketiah, and you have Martinelli, you have Saka, you have Odegaard, you have Xhaka. All of those guys could come and score for you at any point in this game, right? But my anytime goal score for this game, I'm going to go with Bukayo Saka, right? And we're getting $3.50 for Saka to score, right, at any point in this game. So we're having predictions for Brighton versus Arsenal. I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Arsenal, and my anytime goal score to be Saka. Alright, so those are my predictions for Brighton versus Arsenal, and now we're going to move on over to Spurs versus Aston Villa, and this is the penultimate game for this game week. Spurs versus Aston Villa. Spurs, they have been so unpredictable. I think they have gone behind in more than 60% of their games this season. But for some reason they managed to come back in the games and they managed to win some of them. So let's see what's going to happen to Spurs this time around. Unai Emery and his team here. Let's see. But for this game now, Spurs versus Aston Villa predictions. I'm gonna take Spurs to win this one. Both teams to score. I would say, based on how things have been going, it's highly likely that both teams should score. And in terms of a combination bet, I go with either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm saying here Spurs to win this 1-1. In terms of anytime goal score now, you have the usual suspects. You have Harry Kane, you have Son, you have Kulusevski, you have Perisic. Well, he's more of a provider. Oberg have been scoring goals, so those guys are the guys that you have to look at. Basuma, if it depends on the amount of time he gets, he could end up scoring a goal as well. For Aston Villa, you have Lee Watkins, you have Leon Bailey, and you have Danny Iggs, Buendia as well. Again, all of those guys, I'd consider them to be anytime goal scorers. They could probably put any moment and score for you, yeah? But for me, for this game, I'm going to take Kulusevski to be my anytime goal scorer here, $3.30. Alright, so recapping predictions for Spurs versus Aston Villa. I'm expecting Tottenham Hotspurs to win. I'm expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, I would say either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Hotspurs. And in terms of my anytime goal score, I'm going to go with Dejan Kulusevski. Alright, so those are my predictions for Tottenham Hotspurs versus Aston Villa. Now for the final game of this game week, Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. James came back, but he's now out injured again, and my sixth sense is telling me that he's going to be out for maybe about a month, maybe a month and a half. Seems as if he went down with the same knee injury, and so therefore I think he's going to be out maybe for a month or more, yeah. But anyways, let's get straight into the predictions. Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. I'm going to take Chelsea to win this one here. going to be a battle, but taking Chelsea to win, both teams not to score. In terms of combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Chelsea wins this one 2-0. If you want to go on the handicap system, I'll go ahead and I'll take Chelsea to win this one by a goal. Yeah, Chelsea to win by a goal, $2.87 if they do. That's really lovely odds, yeah. In terms of my anytime goal scores, you're gonna have to run through Nottingham Forest first. You have Anyone, he could score. Brennan Johnson, Gibbs White, if he gets the game, he could score as well. Jesse Lingard could score as well, but it seems if this season is not his season, so he might be out of it. In terms of Chelsea, I have Kai Havertz, you have Aubameyang, depends on the amount of time he gets. Raheem Sterling, Pulisic, Mason Mount, Ziyech, and don't think Ziyech will start. Jorginho, most definitely, if they get a penalty, he's gonna end up scoring here for the most part, yeah, because he's a designated penalty taker. But for me, my anytime goal scorer in this game now, I'm going to go with Raheem Sterling to be my anytime goal scorer, and we're getting $2.75 for that, so that's not too bad. So recapping predictions for Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. I'm expecting Chelsea to win here, and I'm expecting both teams not to score. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either team to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline 2-0 in favor of Chelsea, I do believe. And in terms of handicap system, I would go ahead and take Chelsea to win by a goal. In terms of my anytime goal score, I'm going to say here Raheem Sterling to be my anytime goal score, and that's at $2.75 if he does so. Alright, so those are my predictions for this game week, and I hope you took your notes, and thank you for watching. As usual, I do the other videos. Look out for the other videos coming up where we have predictions on the La Liga, French Liga, Serie A, and the German Bundesliga. And so I thank you for joining me, and ensure you're clicking the notification bell whenever you subscribe to my channel, and ensure that you spread the word about the channel, alright, so that others can come in and enjoy what we're doing here, yeah. So happy betting and the best of luck. Thank you.